is the truth. And they don't like the truth, but the truth is what they're going to get. Because they don't got no respect for us. They come here and they do all this shit. They come here and they start off on welfare. Because they come over here broke as shit, they ain't got no money. And they get subsidized to open up liquor stores by the government. Because the government wants to keep black people intoxicated and consuming poison. And so the Yemenis and so the other robbers, the other robbers, right? You could be Middle Eastern and not be a robber, but if you come in and try to take away our health from us, you are a robber. Arab, what's Rab? Rab is short for rabbi, because in your former lives you were all Jewish rabbis who were the ones who were committing sexual ritual murders on children in Europe, and who were exiled by the Christians. And so God reincarnated you into the desert so you could be deserted by him and so you could suffer. And that is exactly what's happening. And so if you don't fall into that category, then you are not a robber. You are a person who is from the region of the East, and you are worthy of respect according to your acts. You're not worthy of respect just because you are of descent of that particular nation. If you're benefiting, profiting off of selling us poison in this where it's not legal in your own country, then you're not worthy of respect, and you are a robber, because you are robbing us of our health, and you are robbing yourself of your own dignity when you sell products and do things that are anti-Islamic, anti-Holy Quran, anti-humanity, empathy. You know what I'm saying? Anti-wanting people to be healthy and selling people health products. And you think about balancing it out by buying some health food stores. And it's only if you're not selling alcohol at all that you can start to balance out your karma. But if you're not giving up the sale of alcohol and tobacco, then your karma is stained. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to continue to be deserted by Allah, because he don't like no hypocrites. And you ain't no Muslim if you fat. What is Muslim? Let's look up the linguistic etymologic root of the word Muslim. More. A Muslim is more slim. That means more. You're more and you're slim. The original Muslims were Moors, and they were slim. And Prophet Muhammad was white, but he wasn't the white that we know as white. He was what they call Persian. He was pale skin, but he wasn't white like British or something like that. No, he was Persian, Zoroastrian, you know. And he was reincarnated from other great people as well. And every time God sent his son, and he came in the form of a great man and a great messenger. And so Prophet Muhammad was very fair-skinned, very without color in his skin, but he was not a racist person. He rode alongside with black people and black African Muslims who were Moors, and they were all slim because they weren't greedy. They were sitting around eating food, getting fat, looking at chicks with big booties on Instagram. No, they weren't doing that. They was fighting against the infidels and fighting against the enemies of peace. And they were warriors, and they were strong, and they were in shape, and they were slim. They were on horses, and they rode, and they fought together. And this is who Prophet Muhammad was, not who you think he was, but that's who he actually was. And you are not that. And many of you who come from some of those regions who are robbers are barbaric. You know what I'm saying? You're barbaric. You barely can read and write at a third grade level, and you barely know mathematics. And you are not like the Iranians, who are mathematicians and who are architects. And you're not like the Persians. No, you were in the desert in caves, and you were barbaric. And he came up amongst you, but he wasn't barbaric. And the history has been rewritten of him to try to match him up and align him with your kind, but he's not of your kind. So don't go around here talking about he racist, and because first of all, who the people are from that region is not a race. The ones who I have respect for are mulatto. They're a mixture of different ethnicities who have black in them as well. Which was why her hair is curly. But y'all ain't that. Y'all barbarians. Y'all barbarians reincarnated from a rabbis. That's why you call Arab, a rabbi. Yeah, you were a rabbi, Jewish ritually murdering kids in the name of religion, which was the Talmud, which was the most wicked book that was ever written, and you reincarnated, and you basically been suffering as a result of what you did in your past life, and you were put there in the desert to be deserted by God, and this is the truth. And if you have anything that you want to challenge, well, you go ahead and put in the comments, because I got plenty of facts and ammunition to let you have. If you want to open your hypocritical mouth and say anything, first thing you need to figure out is whether you got a liquor store or not, whether you selling tobacco products and alcohol products or not. And if you ain't doing those things, then most likely you're going to agree with what I'm saying. And this is part one of a robber's story. Part one. Merry Christmas.